vice versa, like you do the opposite.
You can do it just opposite. Okay? So be aware whenever you do Nagel's rule, if you do it one way for the EDD, you do it the opposite way for the LMP.
So you need
Okay.
use this one, or just you need the result?
I'm sorry.
So for the exam, you need-
This would give you the same results as the other
no,
one.
you need this step, or you can
Yes,
use
I
a-
could.
Oh, you can
That's
use
a
another.
good idea.
Oh, you can use another step, another calculation, because they have another one.
Yeah, there's several of them, but we're only gonna talk about Nagel's rule. Okay? Now, if you know your LMP, you do the Nagel's rule that we already have, the one we learned today. But if you go to the doctor and he gives you a due date, you can figure out when your LMP was and who the father is. Who's the baby's daddy?
Who's baby daddy?
Who's the baby's daddy? Because there are some women that don't know. Oh, did it go away? Probably timed out.
I was editing your forever.
Okay. We have 23 chromosomes from the dad. You have 23 chromosomes from the mother. So I have 46 chromosomes in my baby. Trisomy 18, something's wrong with the 18th chromosome. Trisomy 21, something's wrong with the 21st chromosome. Trisomy 18, there's something wrong with the chromosome number 18. Those are the ones that we're going to study while we're in school. 13, 18, and 21. Okay, those are the chromosomal abnormalities that we're going to study while we're in school. Because they're the most prevalent.
Is not Down syndrome?
21 is Down syndrome. Okay?
13, 18, 21.
Those are the three that we're gonna study. 13, 18, 21. The lower the number, the more risk that we have. Okay? My granddaughter, she's a partial trisomy 6.
So
Okay.
that means she has a half.
Huh?
Half of the trisomy 6, that's what she has, like she doesn't have from both parents.
No, she got it, it's called a translocation. The 4th chromosome, the 6th chromosome, and the 8th chromosome. Part of 4 broke off and went to 6. Part of 6 went off and went to 8. And then she has like a little hook on 8. Okay, they wanted to do a study on her because they didn't have another baby documented. But my daughter said no. Okay? Okay. So a male is a 44XY. Where's the other one? Where's the 23? That's your sex chromosome. Okay? And a female is 24XX. Okay? And that's how we do it on the films. We don't put it as a boy or a girl, we put it as a XX or an XY. Okay? Most of the fertilizations take place in the ampulla. Remember, you have your infundibulum, the ampulla, the isthmus, the interstitial. Okay, most of those happen in the ampulla. Okay? Now, the zona pellucida is what encapsulates the egg, the oocyte, the ovum, the gamete. Okay? Once the sperm meets the egg, now I have a 2-cell membrane. It's called a zygote. So the ova has a nucleus, the sperm has a nucleus. Okay? The tail helps it swim towards the ampulla. And then this is the zona pellucida. This around that is called the corona radiata.
Corona.
Radiata. Okay? And inside of that is the zona pellucida. The zona pellucida is what prevents 2 sperm from impregnating. It doesn't always work, because if I have a molar pregnancy, 2 sperm have entered 1 egg. Okay? I have too many chromosomes in there. So my trophoblastic cells don't know what to do, so they just go haywire and make me really sick. Okay? So here, I just blew it up a little bit. So here's this mitochondria that inserts into the ova. The zona pellucida is what is penetrated and closes back up. Okay, so here I have my ova, I have my ovary. I have ovulation day 14. The fembri suck it up. The sperm meets it, and I have fertilization. The ova now is fertilized, it's a zygote, and it's going to travel up the fallopian tube. Here's my ampulla, here's my isthmus, here's my interstitial. Okay, now, in the book, it says that the morula is the one that goes into the endometrium. Here it shows you that the blastocyst is still in the tube. Okay? So when cells divide, that's called cleavage. When cells divide, that's called cleavage. So here I have fertilization. Okay? Now I have cleavage happening. I have a 2-cell membrane. Cleavage is still happening. I have a 16, well, it doesn't show it. Say this right here, stage 4,
Yeah.
now it's called a morula. Okay, it's up to 16 cells. Once it gets to a blastocyst, it's 200 to 300 cells. Whether this is right or not, you're gonna read literature that is gonna contradict the other. Just know that the blastocyst is what inserts and implants into the uterus. The morula doesn't. It's the blastocyst that implants into the endometrium. That happens around day 6 or 7 after fertilization. So what is this for LMP?
3 weeks.
What day is it?
21.
Yeah, so it's 21 days. Okay, so that's why some people, and then once I have implantation, it burrows down, it takes about 4 days for it to implant, and so we can have implantation bleeding. So now we're up to 21, we're up to 25 days. So the woman comes in, she goes, well, I bled for 3 or 4 days, but it was really, really light. I didn't even have to wear a pad. It's because of implantation bleeding. That's why the crown rump length is the most sonographic that trumps the LNP. The crown rump length is the most precise measurement that we do in ultrasound.
When she have the bleeding, that means what happened?
Implantation bleeding.
That means
The blastocyst is implanting into the endometrium.
And this causes a little of a bleeding,
It can cause a little bit of bleeding.
but the baby is still implant in
The
the.
baby is implanting.
Implanted.
In the endometrium.
It could take up to 4 days.
Okay.
Because remember, the cytotrophoblast has to put out meat tenderizer, so to speak, enzymes that soften the endometrium so the blastocyst can burrow down with the cytotrophoblast. Where the cytotrophoblast implants is going to be the primitive placenta starting. So that's why we can do chorionic villi testing of the placenta in its very beginning in the first trimester. It's an invasive procedure where they can go in and check the chromosomes.
The cleavage is before the implantation.
The what?
They finish the cleavage.
Oh, that happens as soon as we have a zygote. Okay. The cells just keep dividing. Now, the inner cell mass, oh, is it already gone off? The inner cell mass is where you're gonna have your ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Those cells have specific jobs on what they're going to make. So that process is called cleavage. Okay, because I'm pregnant. Now, this is my endometrium, my myometrium, my serosa. This used to be called the zona functionalis, the zona basalis. Now it's called the Decidua Visalus. Decidua Visalus. Anytime you hear the word decidua, it refers to the endometrium. Anytime you hear chorion, you're referring to the baby. Okay? So here, I have an oocyte. I have an ova. Here's my sperm. The outer layer is called the what? Corona radiata. The inside layer is called what? Zona Pellucida. Only one sperm will get through the Zona Pellucida. And it closes back up. And then it's a God thing, and another sperm can't penetrate it. Now, I have an egg and a sperm. I have a zygote. I have a 2-cell membrane. I have a 2-cell, 4-cell, 8-cell. Once it gets to 16 cells, I have a morula. Once it gets to 200 to 300 cells, I have a blastocyst. The blastocyst. Outer layer, cytotrophoblast. Inside layer, cytotrophoblast. Inner layer, baby.
Embryo.
Okay,
Embryoless.
so my endometrial layers used to be zona basalis and zona functionalis. I'm pregnant, so now it's decidua visalis and Decidua functionalis. Okay?